It's your boy Urban High, aka Amontes'TV, aka Urban Philosopher. And today, I wanted to talk about R. Kelly. Now, I know, first and foremost, I'm not in any form of way giving no excuse to what R. Kelly did. And, and I tell a lot of people this anyway, like, in my era, when I was coming up, the high school dudes came to pick up the middle school girls when we was in middle school, and when we was in high school, grown people was kicking up the girls from high school. So it's always been like I don't know, man. Females seem like they so innocent when they younger. So the parents and all that, they really sleep on them, and they be really showing up going for older guys because the older guys got stuff and have more than the guys that was actually their own age. And that's always been a thing. Since I've been coming up to school, females always like the older guys. And then when you get, of age, a lot of them still keep that same habit, you know what I mean? Because a lot of times the older individual have more things, and, they're attracted to, materialism rather than whether or not a person have a great personality or have the potential to be more than what they presently are. But anyway, how did Hugh Hefner live all those years doing what he did with all them young females he had? And everybody knew that he had young females under 18 in that mansion. He'll pretty much groom and mold them until they're 18, until they're old enough to be able to pose nude in his magazine. And he was having sex with these women. He was bringing grown men to his mansion to have sex with these women. And was he even investigated? And then R. Kelly, which, I still say, he was, kind of sick with what he was doing, but he at least had paperwork, had people signing, NDs and whatever you want to call it. And I just don't see how he can get so many years in penitentiary rather than somewhere that would actually help him. Because everything is not a crime in the sense of, like, for one, penitentiary, the prison system is way different than people think. The guys going there for that, them guys are normally rape guys for stuff like that, and and to make it so bad, it's like the idea is like a lot of the guys, they go in there for being charged for drive without a license. So after you get like a certain couple, a certain amount of charges for, getting caught without a license, they send you to prison. And prison where it's killers, rapers, molesters, thieves, serial killers, they here. And you went there because, you ain't crashing into cars, you just happen maybe didn't stop at a stop sign, or you were driving maybe 5 or 10 miles over the speed limit, and you go to jail for 2-3 years with showing up criminals. The system is just crazy how it is. Everything is criminalized instead of being closely looked at and actually getting people real help. If you're a person that molesting, I ain't just talking about like, I'm talking about actually just the act of molesting, having sex with somebody underage, or you doing it knowing that manipulating them in any kind of form, whatever you want to call it. They need help. Why is those people going to jail in an atmosphere that's not going to help them? If anything, it may make them more bitter and keep doing what they've been doing. Because what was happening at one time, if somebody go to jail for molesting or having sex with underage teens, or the situation, they used to go home first parole. They used to make first parole and then be back and you see them coming back, and you like, damn, they didn't came back already. You been here 2-3 years later, these motherfuckers coming back to the same situation and beat you out again. You know, if to my understanding, I heard they had like an island for some of those people that's real sick like that, for them to go to where they can't deal nothing but people that's, you know, like them, which I thought, you know, that makes more sense, something like that. Somewhere like an island where they can actually get some help and then deal with the people that's just like them. And maybe through that process, you get to understand what kind of people these are. But anyway, back to Hugh Hefner and R. Kelly. So what's the difference between R. Kelly and Hugh Hefner? You don't think Hugh Hefner has some videos of him having sex with young females? I'm pretty much, and if I had to bet my soul on it, I would. Because why wouldn't he? And why, I mean, he was getting away with it the way nobody was saying nothing. And maybe because most of the people that he was, you know, inviting to the mansion, you know, it was cops. He was probably government officials. You know it, man, because it just, you know, for some reason, and then I don't know, it's just how Hugh Hefner was able to get away. Was the laws? I mean, would you consider a woman at 16 where he was living at? So I need to do my research on that too, because I just don't understand how he got away for so many years and everybody knew about it. He really solidified the saying, not if it ain't broke, you can't fix it, but what's the ain't what you do, is how you do it. Because, I mean, for him to get away this long, you literally, you know what I mean, ain't what you do, is how you do it. Because what makes him different than R. Kelly with the series that he was white. He was a white guy. You know, it's just not cool, man, to get that man all that time. And there's other people that's really done worse that hadn't. I mean, at least he did have paperwork. It was parents, there's other people involved that allowed this to happen, you know. And even what happened, I mean, I'm sure their parents knew and probably was all right with it because he was Playboy. And his status as, you know, I don't know, maybe they thought they can get something out of it. You know, I know what R. Kelly, people was definitely benefiting. You know what I mean? He was benefiting his sickness and taking care of their sickness by, you know, getting them money or whatever the situation is. Even with Aaliyah parents, you know what I'm saying? How they end up taking all his, you know, his music catalog and stuff, whatever. I mean, I guess they own it or have, you know, somehow benefiting from that, you know, instead of him going to jail, you know, for marrying her underage. You know, they took, because at the end of the day, they want the money. The people want the money. You know, I don't know if Hugh Hefner was, you know, greasing people's hands or not. I mean, maybe he had all those people under his, you know, belt. You know, maybe he had the police bureaus and, you know, allowing them to come over and have sex. I don't know, because how did this man do this in our face? Created, built, you know, a mansion full of females, you know, not saying all those underage, but Lee, I bet you half the house was. You know, it just don't make no sense to me. And this ain't about feeling sorry for R. Kelly. It is about playing fair all the way around the board, you know. You know, how you do, you know, my thing is about this so-called justice, you know. Why is there so many exceptions? But it's more weighted towards, you know, the white community more than the black community, you know what I'm saying? Because ain't no way a black dude would have been a deal what Hugh Hefner did. And we know it, you know what I mean? Not openly. He did this openly in everybody's face and nobody did nothing about it. You know? Like far as, you know, other situations I want to speak on that happened with, I can't think of the dude's name that held himself. Y'all know who I'm talking about. And, you know, he had people, you know, I feel like he had, I ain't gonna say power over, but, you know, he knew who was doing what too. And, you know, what was Hef part in that? I'm pretty sure Hugh Hefner had something to do with that when he was alive. So kind of way, I mean, I don't mean far as this sex trafficking aspect of it, but I'm pretty sure he had females and he was putting them down with or however the situation is, man. He wasn't that bad though. He wasn't, sex trafficking because he was in the open. Everybody, he was trying to get the purest, females he can get. But I mean, help me out. Anybody that know about Hugh Hefner, as I'm wrong or I'm right, let me know if I'm wrong. If was Hugh Hefner dealing with underage females? If I'm wrong, let me know. Go on the bottom, make your comments, let me know, because I just don't see how R. Kelly can get all those years and nobody else get in trouble. Because I mean, if what you saying he did is so sick and this man, he need to be paying attention to it. There's a lot of people that should go there. At least he has a sickness. What's their excuse? What's the parents' excuse? What's the people that was helping him bring them girls in, or who made the contracts for them to sign? I mean, any of those things, man. Why were they let go? How come he couldn't have done that without them? I mean, he really. I mean, in other time when somebody is part of something that you're doing, that's conspiracy. And where's his conspiracy charges? Because that's all it is. All them parents supposed to get conspiracy charges. Whether you just gave them 6 months to a year, they should have went. Because my thing is, you coming after this man, you being used as witnesses against this man, right, for what he's done or what he's allegedly done, or they got film of it, whatever the situation is. You still was a part of it because you allowed him to have your child to do what he pleased with. Not saying he was right, but he's sick. That's the whole point. He is sick. Hugh Hefner is sick. Is it normal for you to look at a white female underage and that's okay? I mean, I believe America, the white men in America, not all white men, but the ones older than we were, they actually looked at females 17, like 16, and look at them like they are bad, they got this and that. I done heard them talk like, so she's hot. 17, she's hot. I'm like, she's 17, how she's hot, and she's 17. I'm not saying that female can't be developing those ages, but my thing is, if we have a law that's saying that you ain't adult to this age, I know like in New York, I think you can 17 as an adult, or some states may have it where you could be under 18, but for the most part, if that is how people looking at things, then how can, like, think about all the movies in the 80s. I don't know about the 90s, I gotta look at it. But all the movies that I remember in the 80s, 16 Candle, Can't Buy Me Love, Revenge of the Nerds. There's a lot of Porkies, all these was based around the female, underage, the high school female, the pretty white girl in high school. And somehow they have taken her and they've lust over that woman, man. Like, it's cool. It's been like, this is the 80s. It's like they had brainwashed you to look at it. You know what I mean? Because think about, what's the other one? Crush. Where Alison Silver-Smith, can't think of her name, whatever. She was supposed to be 15 or 16 in that role. She probably was older, but the whole attention was, she was pushing herself on to the house guests, and and they had a situation there where he recognized that she might have been, more mature as far as her physical than a lot of females her age or whatever the case was, but still the focus was on a white female in high school. All those movies, man. Can't Buy Me Love, like I said. Porky's movies. Like I said, these females was, under 18. And it's about high school kids. All these movies about kids in high school, you know. And these are movies that, rated R, based on children. So now, we got, we had the PG-13 and all that. But still, the high school kids or, them young adults are more the vocal point of the whole situation rather than people like, even more so than college movies, you know what I'm saying? Which is still kids, coming from high school to college. Some of them, all of them ain't always 18. Some of them graduate, younger and go to college younger, But, think about it. Think about all the movies in the 80s that was supposed to be good movies were movies that was based around white females in high school. What's the other one? Last American Virgin. Almost the same thing. And in that movie, it was about a young female getting pregnant, by this dude that, really didn't care about her, blah, blah, blah. But even they had sex with older women, prostitutes, showing them having sex or paying money while they underage and having sex with older people. Sometimes movies, is based on that gap, But anyway, man, like I said, I don't think Hugh Hefner was no better than R. Kelly. Please leave a comment if you agree or don't agree. This your boy, Irvin High, a.k.a. Amontes'TV, a.k.a. Urban Philosopher. Peace, I'm out.